Hello. Today we are making pumpkin bread, and we're gonna make some with some streusel topping. We're gonna make some with some cream cheese topping, and it's just gonna be a big old wonderful fantastic thing. So got a couple of things set up so that they're in the screen but not quite interrupting anything. Got a wonderful cascading light coming in from the backyard this morning, so that's nice. I think I've got just about everything ready, but we're gonna do either 4 or 8 pumpkin bread mini loaves. If we do 8, let's say we'll do that. If we do 8, we're gonna do 4 plain pumpkin bread loaves, and we're gonna do 2 with streusel topping and 2 with cream cheese icing. So I'm just getting everything all together, finding out what ingredients I need for each, and we should be good to go. Some brown sugar for the streusel topping. We've got some butter for that. We'll need a stick of that if we're gonna make 2 cups. Let's see. I was very fortunate recently. A friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine gave us some mini loaf pans. So we're gonna give these a try and see what we can make. We've got our KitchenAid ready. We've got more non-stick loaf pans. Let's see. And if you're having any trouble hearing me or any audio visual issues or anything like that, just let me know in the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on that. Just looking through my recipe book right now. Got the streusel topping. I want to find the cream cheese. We've got our butter out. Oh, there's a recipe for pumpkin cream cheese frosting. Let's see, for vegetable bread, marble pumpkin. Whoa. Let's see. Frosting. Cream cheese frosting. Page 63. Okay. We are pretty much there. We gotta find one last thing. 562. Okay. So for our cream cheese frosting, we'll need cream cheese, 1.5 sticks of butter. I'm gonna get a lot of butter out and get that softening. Some confectioner sugar, vanilla extract. So we'll get our cream cheese. Just to be very safe, I'm gonna have 2, 4, 5 sticks total. Butter sitting out softening. Got our cream cheese here. I think 8 ounces is all we need. Let me double check. 1 pound. So that's 16 ounces. And this makes how much? Ooh, we're gonna half that anyway, okay? Alright, so we'll do 8 ounces, half a pound. And pour myself a little bit of coffee here. So I hope everybody's having a nice morning. I've been timing myself with how long it takes to get these streams together. Been a slight improvement from some previous ones. Looked like this morning took me about 15 minutes to set up, so that's good. I'm sure this coffee sounds like, on the microphone, this coffee probably sounds like it weighs 500 pounds. Just slam. Okay, so I think we'll use a couple different attachments on our KitchenAid today. We're going to use the whisk and the paddle bit. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get these loaf pans just open up and prepared and set them to the side. Go ahead and spray them with some non-stick spray. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I've got 4 of these. And I think we're gonna do 4 total today. Let's see. Okay, we got 8 total. This is very new to me, so I wasn't sure if this was like, if these were liners for something else, and then I realized these shapes didn't line up, and so we're good now. Okay, so we're gonna take a little kitchen towel and just kind of dust these things out. Get them ready to be prepped for the oven. I like the overhead cam today because it kind of looks like one of those I Spy books, you know? Like, it's a little bit, there's a lot going on, but it doesn't look chaotic or anything, you know? Everything's like intentionally in its place. And I haven't measured anything out ahead of time because I wanted to get this stream started at 10. It's probably, even with preparation for everything, it's probably only going to take about an hour and a half to get done with everything today. I think this bread even cooks for, let's see, a regular loaf. One big loaf would take 50 to 60 minutes. We'll probably bake these for about 35, 40 minutes and see how that goes. Alright, so we're gonna get our little loaf pans greased up here. Just have some non-stick cooking spray. Now if I'm doing this over a table, I'll just lay down a tablecloth or something so I don't get this canola spray everywhere. But just be sure to get in the corners. Don't get it on your clothes. Or don't get it on clothes you care about, either way. Just going through, getting all the sides. Okay, so there's one of the 2. We've got that greased up here, you can see. Ooh, ah. There it is. Okay, and then number 2, these look just slightly smaller than the other ones. I really love these. I really love the shape of these. These are going to be so cute, and they're going to be really good to give out when you're done with them. Alright. Set this off to the side as well. I'm wondering how long everything's going to take to get together. I think I'll go ahead and preheat the oven. We're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. So start your engines. Okay, now let's review. See, this makes 1 loaf. I think I'm going to go ahead and make enough for 2 full-size loaves and see how that does. Because I'm thinking, let's pull out a regular size loaf pan and see about how big that is compared to these other ones. So I suppose one thing I could consider is how much mass we're making here. But so this is your standard 9-inch by 5-inch bread pan. And if we make enough for 2 of these, I'm wondering how much. I'm tempted to do 2.5 times the recipe, but let's go ahead and start with 2 and see what happens. So first we're going to melt the butter, and I think what we're going to do is I think we'll go ahead and do it all at once. So we're going to get 2 sticks of butter in the bowl, of butter into a bowl, and then we're going to put that in the microwave, and we're gonna do just, we'll start and see what minute segments does. If that gets to be too much at once, we'll do 30 seconds at a time. Okay, so we're melting the butter. We're gonna whisk together the flour, salt, baking powder, and sugar in a bowl. Bowl out here. I'm almost wishing now that I would have used a metric recipe, because I just got a scale and it's really cool. I made some scones with it the other day, and it's really nice to have something where I can make, you know, working by the weight of ingredients seems a little bit more accurate. Okay, so get our measuring cups and tools out here. Let's see what the butter looks like after 1 minute. Okay, the bowl is getting hot. Here's your butter, but it's not yet fully melted. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pop that in for another, let's do another 30 seconds. Okay, so we need 2 cups of flour. Now, I know you've seen me do the spoon and level thing, but when we're doing something like a quick bread, in the spirit of that, the vein of that, let's go ahead and keep it quick. I just kind of pour it lightly into a cup. There's 1 cup there. Let's see, so we're doubling the recipe. So we're gonna need 4 cups. This is gonna be quite the combination. I think what we're gonna do here is move our ingredients so we can get this bowl on the overhead cam. Now, I'm not sure if all kitchen mixers are equal in quality, but at least the bottom of the KitchenAid is almost always, the little nubs that hold it still are almost always falling off. Wondering if I should glue those things down. Okay, so let's get this scooted up to our under the overhead cam. There we go. Glistening in the morning light. Got a little pit bull down here with me. Okay. The butter is 95% melted. The bowl is super hot. I'm just going to take it out and let it sit. The heat from the bowl is probably going to continue to melt this butter, so keep that there for when we need it. Let's see. Melted butter, mashed bananas, and a separate bowl, beaten eggs. Okay. So, we've got 2 out of the 4 cups of flour. Let's go ahead and continue that. So here's our 3rd cup of flour. There's our 4th cup of flour. We can get that out of there. I found an experience with making some other quick breads. I think I end up making them too dry sometimes. I'm not really that concerned about having just like a scant cup of flour instead of a super full one, but try to get it as level as you can. If you really want to have, if you're not weighing your ingredients and you really want it to be super exact, then you can spoon in the flour and then use a knife to level it off. That's, though I'm sure she didn't create it, that's what I always consider to be like the Martha Stewart method. Okay, so we've got our flour. We're going to do a teaspoon of salt. teaspoon of salt. I'm considering finding a way to share these recipes along with each episode too, because I realize it's, this is like a cooking along thing, but if you're anything like me, you probably like to work at your own pace too. And it's doing a first time recipe. It seems less than likely that two people will be like completely in sync at doing these things all at the same time. Okay, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We're doubling the recipe, so we're going to do 3 teaspoons of baking powder, which is 1 tablespoon. Got that fancy lip on the top of the baking powder container there. Alright, so 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Let's see, baking powder and sugar. And we'll double the sugar here, so this calls for 1 cup of sugar, so we're going to do 2 cups of sugar. Reaper Education 07. Heyo, Sergeant Power Glove, how's it going this morning? Thank you for joining. We are just getting tons of dry ingredients together for a good amount of pumpkin bread, which will be distributed post haste to all of our good pals. Let's see here. Hey, Hurrytron, what's going on? Nice to see you. Glad you've been coming back and checking these out. I appreciate it. Let's see. We're gonna get these mixed up. We're making pumpkin bread today, per Sergeant Power Glove's request in the last stream. So thank you, Sergeant Power Glove, for your request. Hurrytron, and anybody else who drops in, if you end up finding out you want to, if you've got any requests you want to make, I am all ears and I'm happy to try new things. That's what this streaming adventure is all about. San Francisco. Yeah, I really enjoy that this gets to be like by the morning light this morning. The kitchen here has a very nice light that comes into it every day. It's like the reason why I bought this place. Okay, this is pretty well mixed up. So many possibilities. You're right. Hurrytron, have you tried doing any streams again lately? I don't have any food allergies, as far as I can tell. I don't think I do, and I'm very grateful for that because I just love to eat. I like to try new things, and yeah, my cousin is like terribly allergic to tree nuts. I don't think she's allergic to peanuts. And I had a friend in high school who was like terribly allergic to both, which I can't imagine. Got another pal who she's allergic to all kinds of, like, has to stay away from chocolate, tree nuts, peanuts, etc. Actually thinking about doing some gluten-free stuff sometime soon too, just for the sake of like trying it, because there's some really good recipes in this book that I've been using a lot of. Okay, melted butter and mashed bananas. So this is basically this is a banana bread recipe that we're replacing the banana with pumpkin. And we're actually going to add some cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves into the dry ingredients too. So let me get that out real quick. Okay. Ginger, cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon. Okay. So, how much we gotta do here? We're gonna double this recipe, so we're doing 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Like I said, this is the, oh, I have some open cinnamon. I'll be right back. So this is the banana bread recipe that we're replacing the bananas with pumpkins. So we're adding some fall time spices to it. So you got two teaspoons of cinnamon there. We've got, let's see, a half teaspoon of nutmeg, which is always more potent than I realize it is, or than I assume it is, So half teaspoon of nutmeg there. We're gonna do the same half teaspoon of ginger, and then we're just gonna do a tiny bit of cloves. So there's a ginger there. As you can see, this is quite the mass of dry ingredients. We're doing what would be 2 full loaves of quick breads. The batter on these is definitely a little bit thinner. Whoa, whoa. Okay, about a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Let's see. Yeah, I do actually. The star anise is pretty good. I'm not like a licorice fan, but I do like kind of that anise, fennel, anise. Sorry, I'm not sure because I haven't recently heard some experts say it, but star anise. But yeah, I like that flavor. My dad is like a huge fan of black licorice, and I definitely am not. But like I said, it and fennel both kind of have a similar aromatic, kind of hard to describe, like very unique flavor. Oh yeah, I could see that going really well in this actually. That's a really good idea. Yeah, we used to do. I used to work at a grocery store where we did a like a fennel, apple, walnut fall salad with like a white vinaigrette. Really tasty. And that was my first time trying fennel, and I tried it on its own. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But then everything mixed together, it's like you can taste it in your sinuses or something. Super good. Okay, let's see here. So, melt the butter. We're gonna do that with the mashed. Mix that up with the pureed pumpkin here. So I'm gonna get this. I'm just gonna do my standard paddle bit there. Oh no, I gotta wash some of it off. I thought I had it all, but apparently I missed a speck of buttercream from our last stream on that paddle bit, so forgive me. It's an elusive piece of kitchen equipment to wash. Okay, let's see. Gotta get our, like I said, it was a little bit, just kind of jumping right in today. I have a few dishes that I'll be washing on demand, which is all just part of the fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and get I'm going to move the dry ingredients out of the way, and we're going to get this KitchenAid back front and center. So very carefully as to not disturb our kitchen setup too much here. I'm going to slide this out of the way. Set these eggs to the side. We're gonna get this. Don't want it too much in the front cam, but I do kind of want that front view, so that's just fine. Okay, and I'm really hoping I don't overload this KitchenAid, but if I do, so be it. We're all learning together here, right? Okay. So I'm gonna get the butter in here. Got my rubber spatula, just getting everything out. Sergeant Power Glove, congratulations on doing really well on the Mario 35 the other day, by the way. It looked like the first-person duders were really cleaning up. That they were just like, every video I saw was like Mayor Sheriff, Sleepy Time Beer, yourself, all just killing it in Mario 35. Gotta wash on the fly. But yeah, great job on that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up our pumpkin puree. I did not make from scratch. I generally do, but this is gonna be a relaxing morning. Alright. Okay, we've got our baby food-esque pumpkin puree. Yeah, I saw Mayor Sheriff playing his Mario 64 the other day, and that got me inspired to do the same. I was on there doing, I think I just got into the basement at at Princess Peach's castle, and I think I've got like 27 stars. So I'm off to a pretty good start. I think I stopped 1 star short on each of those. On each of the first levels, that is. Alright. Actually, I'm going to let my dog outside real quick. Okay, the puppers have been released. Second can of pumpkin puree going in now. Double check that this is all the right proportion. Let's see. 1 cup, 8 ounces. Oh no. So 2 cups per double. Oh, I've almost used too much pumpkin. Abort. This was a close call. I will use this pumpkin puree for something else, which is sitting precariously on the top of the pumpkin mix. I think I had another close call in the last one. I think it was that I was nearly dropping some of this. Oh, that was close. Nearly dropping some of the macaroons from last time. Okay, so the recipe calls for 1 cup of pumpkin puree. Each can is 15 ounces, which is almost 2 cups, which is fine because I doubled the recipe, but not so because I put 2 cans in there, so I had to excavate, take some of that out. Close call, but we saved it. Alright, we're moving and grooving. I think, that's why people come here on their Sunday mornings, to get the blood pressure up, to get the blood pumping. It's high octane, high action. You won't find this kind of stuff. That's true. You won't find this kind of stuff anywhere else. Okay, so our eggs and vanilla. Beat in the eggs and vanilla until well combined. Okay, so for this we'll need 4 eggs. Okay, so go ahead and get our KitchenAid going here. Lock it down. And just so you know what's going on while it's going, I'm going to put in 4 eggs. I do like to crack them into a separate bowl just in case. You never know if you're going to get eggshell or get a bum egg or something like that. Get an egg that is, sometimes the eggs are not in perfect shape. So, 4 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Go ahead and get that going. Must see Twitch TV. That's right. I don't know if high octane is an option for the tags on Twitch, but if it is, I need to start adding that to these episodes. The amount of octane in this show is lethal. Okay, so we get our eggs. There's 1 egg. There's 2 eggs. 3 eggs. And 4. Okay, so we'll add those a little bit at a time. We'll go ahead and get our butter and pumpkin going, and then we will slowly add these the eggs and vanilla extract. When this is done, we're just going to stir in the dry ingredients. And first we're going to plug in the KitchenAid. Okay, here we go. in it. Ooh, ah. Okay, a little bit at a time. 1 egg. 2 eggs. 3 eggs. I bet you can't guess what comes after that. 4 eggs. Now I know the rush that Emeril Lagasse had in the 1990s. Okay, that's good and mixed up. We got our melted butter and pumpkin puree right there, right there. Okay. Okay, tap that out. We're gonna rinse this paddle bit off. But we will keep that because we're gonna need it later for our cream cheese icing. So, we're getting close though. I think, yeah, next we're just gonna go ahead, I'll take this off of here. We're gonna move this guy out of the way. These things weigh a ton. Okay. And I think a lot of batters like this, when it comes time to stir in the dry goods, you don't want to beat the thing up. You just want it to do about a half or a third in there and just kind of gently get it mixed in. Just keep in mind that I think the care that you put into folding these ingredients together is very obvious when it comes out in a bread pan. So you put it together, you know, slamming it all together in a food processor, it might not come out with the nice, smooth, fully risen results that you get from stirring this stuff in till just combine, right? So do the rest of that in there. Okay. Getting the rest of this batter mixed up. So in this we've got 1 can of pumpkin puree, 4 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We've got 4 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and I believe 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Salt brings out the best flavors in everything. No matter what you're making, it is rare that salt does not improve it, at least to some degree. Like I said, you don't want to be too rough with this. I'm kind of doing my best to fold this stuff in without being super rough, but it is this is a massive batter here. Okay. We've got our batter there. I bet it tastes delicious. I'm gonna get the pans over here and I'm gonna scoop it into the pans, above the aerial cam there. Our oven is preheated at 350 degrees. And we're going to get these poured in, but we're not going to put them in the oven just yet because we're going to do some streusel topping on... Let's do streusel topping on 2 of them, okay? So, here's the first one. I'm going to start small and kind of build on there and see what we can get going. I'm putting probably about a cup of batter in each one, maybe slightly more. As you go through, you might find a couple of dry ingredients that didn't quite get mixed in. Just give it a stir. It does smell fantastic. This smells like pumpkin pie. Okay, so I think I'll do these probably about, so give a little bit more to this guy. I'll do these probably about halfway. I anticipate they'll rise maybe about half of their current height. I don't want them to be up and puffing over the bread pans. I want them to just kind of come up to the top so they got a nice shape when they're finished. Let's turn this to the side, keep it back here, and I'll get the new ones going. Okay, dog's coming in. Hello. Hello, come on. Okay, one of the dogs is officially in play mode now, so you're going to hear her barking because she wants to play. I can hear her snuffling out there. Snuff. Snuff. Okay. So we're starting a little less than what we want, and we're going to go back and fill in the rest. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just kind of taking the back of the, there she goes. I'm just kind of taking the back of the rubber spatula and dancing it across the edge here, patting it down just a little bit as I go across. Because I want it to be flat, but you don't have to press it down or anything. Okay? Just kind of getting a uniform shape going across the top there. Our last little bit we're going to put right there. Now, the quick breads I make are not always perfectly are not always super duper tall, so I'm hoping for the best here. But honestly, if they end up about that big, maybe that big, you know, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall, that's good for a mini loaf. Let's see. So, I get one more attempt at getting the doggo inside. Come on. You want a treat? You want a treat? Come on, let's get a treat. The treat won't work. Oh boy. This is like technical difficulty. Doggo edition. Here, come here. Good. Here. You were extra good. They really are the best co-stars a person can ask for. Okay, so we are going to very quickly wash out our KitchenAid bowl because we're going to make that streusel. And then we're going to top 2 of these. And then we'll get these in the oven. So just a quick wash on this guy here. Spatula done. Okay, KitchenAid bowl done. All right, let this go. These things off. And it's streusel time. Okay, so for the streusel, let's see, we need 1 stick of butter, softened, we got that. A cup of brown sugar, we've got that. Half cup of chopped walnuts, pecans, or other nuts, or unsweetened shredded coconut. That's interesting. A tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, half teaspoon of cinnamon or to taste, and a cup of flour. Cream the butter. Stir or pulse in the remaining ingredients. Okay, should be easy enough. So we're really just going to cream the butter here, which is pretty soft. It's like slightly more solid than I like it, but it should break down and cream just fine in the bowl here in the food processor. So we're going to get the butter creaming there as we get the rest of our ingredients together for this streusel. I'm going to go ahead and set these poured pumpkin loaves back over on the oven. And they are almost ready to go, okay? Alright, so we're going to do a cup of packed brown sugar. Use some, let's use chopped walnuts. Butterfingers. All right. Let's see. We've got half a cup of chopped walnuts. I think I'm used to having it with pecans, but I think walnuts would go well with this. Set those off to the side. This calls for a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, but I'm not going to do that because I don't think that that'll be very good. Go with your gut here, huh? Okay. So we've got our creamed butter. Nice soft consistency. Where can you set? Actually, this will get rinsed off anyway. Okay, and then we're gonna do how much? Let's see, half a teaspoon of cinnamon or to taste. So I'm gonna do just a slightly heaping thing of cinnamon, so I want it to have some good flavor. We're gonna get our cup of brown sugar in there. Get our nuts in there. This is not gonna form together like a dough. You're just gonna basically mix everything up. And I believe there's some flour in here too. Yeah, there's a cup of flour. Let's go ahead and get the cup of flour going too. I think another way I've seen this done too is as a topping for muffins. I sometimes make this in a food processor and you just cube the butter and then process it all together. So you've got these little, these little morsels of butter spread throughout it. It's really not a wrong way to have butter in a recipe unless it's like messing up the function of the food, like too much melty butter in a cookie is going to give you a flat cookie, but in the end it's still delicious. Okay. So we're just going through getting this stuff good and mixed up. Doesn't have to be gorgeous or anything. So you know that the flavor is awesome and that the end result is going to be really tasty. It's just going to be like a pebbly, buttery thing. So don't be afraid to get your hands involved too. You can use your hands, mix it up, use a wooden spoon. I think in hindsight that a soft rubber spatula probably is too bendy for something like this too. Let's switch to the wooden spoon and see how that feels. Oh yeah. Okay. Just kind of want to make sure everything looks good and well distributed in there. You don't want it all to be too fine, but you don't want it all to be big old clumps of butter and walnuts or whatever nut you choose. Sometimes people use oats in this stuff too. I don't know, I kind of like the look of this when you cream the butter as opposed to blending it all in a food processor. So it's gonna look and probably feel kind of like wet sand when you're done with it. See what you got there? But I think that's about the right consistency. Yeah, when you go through it, it's gonna feel kind of like wet sand, and you can put as within reason. I mean, not 2 inches thick, or 1.5 inches thick, but you can put a pretty good layer of this on top of your pumpkin bread. So I'm going to do that with 2 of ours. Okay, I'll take 2 of the smaller ones here, and I'm just going to take a bunch of it and set it down. I'm not going to press super deep into it. Again, this is probably about a 1/4 cup. All right. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 because I've got a lot of this streusel. And we can use the rest of it on something else later. Oh, but it's going to be good. Okay. So, this is so tempting to eat some of this, and if I were alone making this just for me, I probably would. Okay, these are ready to go into the oven, and the original recipe, I believe, calls for 50 to 60 minutes. Let's see, but we're going to put these in for 40 minutes and see what happens. Oh yeah, those ones with the streusel are going to be awesome, and we're going to make some, after we put our streusel away, the extra stuff, we're going to make some cream cheese icing. It's going to go over the top. We might even make it kind of a pumpkin spiced cream cheese icing, because why not? Alright, so these are going in the oven. And I'm going to set the timer on my phone here for 40 minutes. Okay, timer. Let's do just over that. All right. So we're moving on here. Oh yeah, this is going to be really nice. Okay. Streusel is going to be great. Okay. So, we got a little jar. I can put the rest of this streusel in. I might have to spoon it in there because I think it's let's see, I'll just kind of get this going. Yes, the most riveting content find on Twitch TV on Sunday morning at around 10 a.m. Next week, I'm trying to think of what we're going to do next week. Any suggestions for something you guys would like to see, you all would like to see made? I'd be happy to try anything. I actually made some French bread the other day. It was not a stream, but it was something just, I wasn't sure. Yeast breads haven't been a very good thing for me lately. The bagels turned out okay, but I think too much messing with them after they were proved led to a couple of them being underbaked in the middle. Which was kind of disappointing. Okay, got our streusel topping. I'm going to find a creative use for this, but I'll put it in the fridge for now. Okay. And we're doing just a little bit of cleanup here. Put our pumpkin away. Probably not going to need our salt or flour for the cream cheese icing. It's one of my favorite things to make. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give this a quick wash out here. Puppy needs some water, so I'm going to give her a little bit of water real quick. I know that a lot of this show, probably a third of this show, is the sound of a sink running in the background, but if you like those soothing sounds, this is a great thing to tune into on Sunday mornings. Set that down, get a little water for the puppy. So a recipe I have not made on the stream, but is a lot of fun to make, and is one of my faves. I found a recipe for like Irish brown bread a while ago that was really tasty, and I found that when I double it, it really puffs out of the pan like you like to see. You know, like it just the perfect shape for a pan loaf. So I thought about making something like that sometime soon here. I think that would be fun. Okay, where's our cinnamon carrot? And I'm gonna get these scissors out of the way. Now, I don't know if any of you know of any other cooking streams or anything like that on Twitch. I've kind of looked around trying to find some, and you know, if you know any that you like to watch, that you'd like to recommend in the chat or anything like that, by all means, I'd love to hear about them. I'd love to go check some of those out too. I've said before, there's a user named HC Willard, Willard, and he does cooking streams, like cooking dinner and stuff like that, on one camera, and I believe his son plays like Super Mario 3 and stuff like that on another camera. This is kind of a neat, like, multimedia way to do this. I really think it's a cool thing that they do. And he makes some pretty good stuff. He made some breakfast bowls a while ago that looked really great. I heard about him from somebody named Little Nemo. Actually, I think I finally know how to do a decent shout out here. Let's try this. There you go. The shoutouts have been perfected. And while we've got a second here, let's see if we can do entertaining you with retro. See? Look, I finally got it figured out, I think. see. Did you get a dub? Is that a double shout out? I see. I'm the king of doubles. That's why they used to call me Double Dave. When you're here, you get a double shout out. You get a double raid. People have seen that, obviously. No problem, man. No problem. Yeah, this is my first attempt at shoutouts too, so I think it's okay. But I'll have to go back and look. Double Dave. Yeah, my buddy Marty back at the grocery store I worked at gave me that nickname, and I had it on a name badge within the first 3 days. So, okay, let's see. We are moving on with some cream cheese icing. Now let's take a second to see if there's any. I want to take a second to see if there's any spiced cream cheese icing or something cool like that we could do. Cream cheese, 3/4 a stick of butter, 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar, which is not granulated sugar. Got some confectioner's sugar here. And oh, and I forgot. This is the person who introduced me to, let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm not confident enough without them in the chat to be able to get this right. Okay. So, and we're gonna need some vanilla extract. Get our paddle bit again. And wash this off. Getting our paddle bit and our one and only faithful rubber spatula together here. Because you cannot very easily make cream cheese frosting without either of those. So we've got our paddle bit here. I believe this really is, you just kind of get everything together. Lemony, pumpkin. Okay, so for pumpkin, let's see. Increase the sugar to 4.5. Okay, so it looks like if we do a little bit more sugar, we can add some of those spices again. That pumpkin, or the nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger to give it some of that pumpkin-y flavor. So I'm gonna stick with that. I think that sounds like a good idea. Okay, so we're gonna do 8 ounces or 1/2 pound or 1 cup of cream cheese. There we go. I just thought this is the most fascinating design for a product. Just like in a little, it looks like he's visiting from the future, and in his bright silver suit here. So like George Carlin cream cheese. Okay. All right, got that in. And we're gonna do. See, I bet we probably cream the. I bet we probably cream that cream cheese for a second before we add everything else in. Beat the cream cheese until fluffy. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get the cream cheese started here. This goes for about 3 minutes. But we got a bowl that's trying to escape. This is a wacky wild, like this is the bloopers episode. Baking with Dave. The bowl is locked in. Alright, here we go. We get the cream cheese cream in here. stick of butter. 1, 2, 3. Want that to go until it's fluffy, so we're going to get that at like medium heat or medium speed for now. The butter will go in just a moment. A cup and a half. In fact, we'll do about 2 cups of the powdered sugar. Yeah. Almost there. Beat the cheek. Okay. Looks like, and I'll bring this a little closer so you can see. There we go. With the bowl in its locked and downright position. Here's your cream cheese when it's looking pretty good. About, get that in the light just a little bit more. Just about fluffy enough to get the butter in with it. Lock that in place again. Medium speed. Do about half of the butter here. Wait for that to get nice and incorporated. Now I think we're going to pipe this on because I think that'll look good. Once the pumpkin bread cools just a little bit, we'll just go zigzag over it with the cream cheese icing. I think that looks nice. We'll do the rest of that butter. I've got a little cover I'm going to put on so this doesn't poof up and go everywhere. Where is it? Okay. We've got our handy dandy cover on now. About medium speed, we're going to get the powdered sugar in here. There's 1 cup. 1 small cup per man. Cup for a small man. Here is your 2nd cup. Now we only needed a cup and a half. Suggested some extra sugar if you're going to do the pumpkin pie spices. We're just going to go with the ratios we used before. So we're going to do half a teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to do half of that of nutmeg, so a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And we're going to do half of that of ginger, so an 1/8 teaspoon or a pinch of ginger. I'm literally going to just do the pinch here. Okay, so should be good. We'll get this mixed in. See a little bit of that confectionery puff coming up through the air. Oh, but this looks really nice. Oh yeah. And this has that pumpkin spice color to it for sure. Check that out. That looks very, very nice. Alright, let's see. It's good. You can just barely taste a little bit of that spice to it, but that's nice. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get one more taste test. Okay, my sources tell me this is good. All right, I will wash this. And let's see. Just looking at the oven light, it looks like our bread loaves are puffing up just a little bit. And we've got 25 minutes left. I set it for 42 minutes actually, so it's been in there for just about 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna check it in probably about 10 and just give it a peek and see, because if it looks like they're done, I don't want to burn them. But it looks like they're rising up. It looks like a nice cover on the top. So let's get this bowl off of here. I'm gonna move the KitchenAid out of the way. Again, it is the world's most heavy kitchen appliance. This as well. Cinnamon down. Okay. Let's see, so we've got our streusel made, we've got our cream cheese frosting made. I originally wanted to do some roasted pumpkin seeds on top of one of these, but I was having a hard time finding them, so I went without. But that's okay, because we can try that in the future. Just getting our stuff organized here. Got our clean paddle bit, got some spices, got some dirty dishes, spoons, etc. Let's see, get this wiped up. Got our vanilla extract. So we're gonna go ahead and get this cream cheese icing into a piping bag. And I think I'm just gonna do a regular circle bit for the end of it. Not gonna make it anything crazy. Okay. So here's one we used last time for our, let's see, what did we use that for? Oh, it's for the macarons last week. That was a good one. Macarons, let's call the whole thing off. Okay, this one looks good here. K21. So it's got a little, just got the hole in the middle there. Okay. And we get this guy connected. I haven't mentioned it before, reusable piping bags are the way to go. By the time you get used to them, they're not much extra to get used to, but by the time you get used to the process of how to set them up and what's comfortable for you, really is a better alternative to using disposable piping bags. If you can help it, reduce, reuse, recycle, all that fun stuff. You don't need to be throwing away all these throwing away everything you use after one use. It's just not what we need to do. It's just not sustainable. So, getting our cream cheese. You could just as easily, piping this, it's not going to be something that's super pretty. You really could just as easily just take this stuff and put it on with your rubber spatula or something else. Just kind of shake that down in there. Okay. And stuff like this, the streusel, if you end up with extra, you can put it on top of muffins, put it on top of another quick bread. You can probably, anything you're baking, you can put it on top of. If you end up with extra cream cheese frosting, you can put that in between a couple pieces of French toast. Do some stuffed French toast. That's one of my favorite, not too difficult weekday things to make. This thing's gonna give me a little bit of trouble. I'm gonna put it in a cup. Okay, let's try this in a cup. See if we can get it to stay still. The frosting is so heavy; it's hard to keep the bag still while you're putting everything in there. Okay, this looks a little bit better. Whoa, that's a lot of frost. Okay, there's our pumpkin cream cheese frosting. I'm gonna put this in the sink. Get that filling up just a little bit. Wow. The breads do look good, but they're not getting that brown top yet, so we're okay. Okay. So here is our cream cheese frosting, ready to be piped on. Nice and easy. You see the end of the nozzle there. So when I pull this out, it's gonna be ready to go. I've got about 18 minutes left, so I'm not gonna put this back in the fridge just yet. It might make it a little too difficult to pipe. So we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning up here. So today we made 8 pumpkin mini loaves. I'm saying it in the past tense, they're not done yet. But we are making 8 pumpkin mini loaves, 3 of which have some streusel topping. Let's see, and then 5 are plain currently. So I think of those 5, I'll do 2 with the cream cheese frosting, save some, and see which of our pals have any, who wants the cream cheese frosting and who doesn't. If they don't want any, we'll give them a plain one. Those should be just as delicious as all the rest. Take these spices away. So if you're trying to do any kind of pumpkin spice, cinnamon, ginger, where are you? Nutmeg, and clove all help. You just want to do, your base is your cinnamon. You do half as much cinnamon of the ginger and nutmeg, and whatever you do of ginger and nutmeg, you do half of that with the cloves, and that should give you a nice pumpkin pie-y spice. Popping that away. Getting close. It's almost done. I don't know if any of you were here for the bagels when I was doing those, but the last 7 minutes were at this excruciating thing of like, okay, any minute now, they're coming out of the oven, and I really didn't want to go on a break in the last 5 minutes of the show, so I just kind of kept pacing back and forth like, it's gonna be good, can't wait, bagels coming out. But when they did come out, those actually ended up being the best of the 3, the white cheddar, walnut, and honey, which was just kind of like a random flavor combination, so I was really excited about that. Hey, Dr. Damien, what's going on? Pumpkin! Oh, that's true. Yeah, I should be wearing Ugg boots if I'm talking about pumpkin spice. But you can't hate on the pumpkin spice too much. They are onto a good thing. It's a delicious spice. The fact that it ended up in the hands of, you know, uh, the trendsetter type. It's no coincidence, you know. They take a good thing, they capitalize on it. I do get a kick out of some of the pumpkin spice memes I've seen over the years too, though. Oh, it is. Fall is. It's definitely my favorite time of the year. I think we've got some. We've got like a common ground out back here, and it's, it's owned by like a cell phone company or something, but it's still like we are fortunate enough to not see anything beyond this line of trees. There's like a little cell phone tower you can see, but there's a line of trees. We got some evergreens, and we got some other trees out there, coniferous that are, the leaves are changing now, and it's just beautiful. I still gotta cut the grass today. I think it's gonna be my last grass cut of the year, hopefully. But yeah, it's really nice. I love to be able to layer, to be able to make outfits that have varying elements. Like you got your jeans, your flannel, your sweater, your jacket, you name it. But yeah, right now we're just kind of waiting. We got a little bit of time. The last cut. That's right. The final cut down. Okay. So yeah, we are making pumpkin bread, streusel topped, and the cream cheese with a little bit of pumpkin spice goodness in it. I think last week I really pushed it to the limit. I think that was like 3 hours of high octane, as I said before, action. That and the 5 hour stream the week before. I like to keep it around the hour and a half mark if I can, maybe two, but woolly flannel. Oh man, yeah. I remember the first time I experienced a flannel that was not just like thin, mostly cotton, like buy it at like Walmart or something. Because I was in high school, and that was my mom would come home with like a 5-pack of flannel and be like, "Here you go." But one of my coworkers who worked in the meat department at this grocery store I was at, one day he was like, "Hey Dave, you look like you wear medium, don't you?" "Yeah." And here, I got something for you. And I never really talked to this guy that much anyway, but he seemed friendly. And he gave me these two really thick, kind of woolly flannels that when I first got them smelled like you would never get the cigarette smoke out of them. And I smoked at the time too. But yeah, after a few washes, like those things from September through, at least in Missouri, from September through like March or April of the next year, they are perfect standbys, and they're really lovely. Let's see. So we got 12 minutes left on these breads. I'm going to take a quick peek at them and see what they look like. I think they're doing good. They're still pretty lightly colored on the top. Now, I'm not assuming they're going to be super dark like I don't think they're going to be a darker brown like banana bread, but I don't think they're going to keep too much of that orangish hue of the pumpkin bread when they come out. They'll probably be somewhere in between. So I think 12 minutes isn't going to be too much longer for these guys. And actually, I think I'm going to take a quick break. So I'll be back probably in about 5 minutes. It's 11:20 now, so 11:25, 11:26 Central Time. I will be right back. Thank you, everybody. See you soon. Fieri Marinari. Hello, I'm back. How's it going, everybody? Took a minute to get resituated. Did a little bit of dishes. Let's see what we got here. We got about 6 minutes left on these pumpkin breads. I'm gonna take a look and see what they look like. Yeah, I think they need a few minutes, but we're getting there. The tops of some of them look like a little bit soft, maybe a little bit too orange still. We're gonna go ahead and wipe off this KitchenAid. What we got here? Oh boy. We got a bot. We got a bot. 2 bots in the room. They found me. This is like Terminator. How do you get these bots out of here? By God. By God, these bots are everywhere. Let's see. We're getting in the control panel here. Let's see if we can ban the spot. Okay. This is more about me learning how to use Twitch and Streamlabs than this is about me learning how to do how to bake, right? Like I'm a decent baker, but when it comes to banning bots, let's see here. How do I ban these bots? Ooh. Thank you, Dr. Damien. I was like completely lost. I appreciate that. Let's see. Ban. Q Eastwood. 1230. Oh yeah. The power. The power of the ban. Let's see here. Beautiful, beautiful. What we're working with here. Okay. Tab complete the username. Oh, nice. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and ban the other bot here. Thank you everyone for supporting me through this ban process. Take that, ZF Monkey 12347. Gotcha. You've been banned. Great. Also, we're gonna do a double shout out to Dr. Damien for his support. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, Dr. Damien, and when you got the doctor and the sergeant all in the same room to help you with these issues, really you're going in there with confidence. You know that you're not going to be left alone on the battlefield against bots that say that they're going to give you tremendous fame. This is exactly what the ancient Greeks were warning about with their little imps that promised you fame and fortune. Going off the deep end waiting for these pumpkin loaves to be done. Okay. We're pouring a cup of coffee. Getting back in the zone. You're my band support group. Thank you. This is not the kind of thing I could do in real life anyway. Like in a party, I would not be able to successfully and solely ban someone. I would need the support of at least one sergeant or one doctor. So, thank you both. And we're waiting. What we got here? 2 minutes left on the pumpkin bread, so I'm gonna get a nice little spot together in the sunlight here for these when they come out. All right, we got our patented cooling rack here. And when these come out, I should have enough room to keep them right here. Just try to get this KitchenAid out of the way. It is a gigantic machine, useful as it is. Gigantic, weighs 6,000 pounds. Ooh, I'm excited for this though. Okay, put the sugar away, we don't need that. Butter, can go ahead and go in the fridge. Don't need that anymore. Oh. And let's see. Before these things come out, I just want to thank everybody for coming in and joining me this morning. I think 10 o'clock on Sundays is going to be my standard time from now till, I might start a half hour early sometimes, but I think around 10 o'clock, anywhere from 9:30 to 10 is going to be my starting time on Sundays. Next week, I think I'm going to try to do some crackers. I might try to do some crisp, some rosemary thyme type, some herbaceous crackers, crisps, something like that, because I've been doing a lot of sweets lately. But I think sometime soon too, I want to try to do something with a little more, something with like a rough puff pastry, and try a couple things that I haven't before. So just want to thank everybody who's been joining me in the mornings, and popping into the chat, saying hello. Hurrytron, Sergeant Power Glove, Dr. Damien, all y'all, I really appreciate you coming in. And yeah, it's just kind of a fun way to get this stuff going. As I think I've said before, Mayor Sheriff kind of got me started and introduced to everybody here, and ultimately grateful to have a pal like him in the biz. Sleepy Time Beer is a gracious host in the First Person Duders, and y'all have really made a lot of this a lot of fun. So happy to be here, and thanks everybody for joining. Now, well, thank you so much. Now let's take a look at these pumpkin breads. Let's see what happened. Oh yeah. Okay. I believe you. Oh yeah. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Oh, let's get that out of the shadows and into the sunlight here. Let me get another. I'll pull these other guys out too, but boy, am I happy with the way these look. They're so cute. Just like little Rudolph says, she thinks I'm cute. Look at that. Those are beautiful. And they're gonna come out just fine. We're gonna let those cool on the rack for just a few minutes before we take them out. But, ooh, take a look at these little guys too. All right, check out that streusel. Streusel cam. Oh, come on, get out of the light. There we go. There we go. The front on cam. Getting a little bit of that streusel. The sunlight is blinding, but golden brown. Delicious. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so these got to set up for a little bit. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're right, Dr. Damien. It's a good group of people here. I really wish I had the capacity to go see more of these streams as they happen too. I think I usually get a chance to see Little Nemo's streams, and see some Sergeant Power Gloves. Dr. Damien, you did your birthday stream last week. Again, happy belated birthday. Retroact Gaming had his birthday yesterday. Actually, let's see. Let's see if that's the right one for a double shout out. I'll figure out how to fix that for the next time. But yeah, this icing is going to come out very nicely. So, let's see. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Let's take a toothpick and check them out just to be sure. Have you made breads, cakes, or anything like that before? You've probably heard of this practice, but if not, take a toothpick or anything like it, give it a dip at the deepest part of whatever you're making, and pull it out. Now if it comes out clean, or you have just like the slightest bit of crumb on it, then you're good. Now a lot of these things as well, you're going to want to let them, let's see. Oh, okay, so it's not a double shout out. Okay. Well, you know. I can't believe that. Well, I mean, I can believe it. I often mistake these things. Okay. So, let's see, how hot is that? That's okay. Okay, and then we're gonna take a couple heat pads here and tilt these things out. Oh no, you're okay, Sergeant Power Glove. I am easily confused, and it is not an issue. Let's see. These do move around a little bit, but I can't imagine I can take them out from the top. Getting these things out is going to be a little bit difficult, especially because this is just slightly longer than the cooling rack. I think I might be able to get it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the cooling rack on top. I do not want to squish these things. Just like an upside down cake, we're going to go ahead and flip this upside down if we can. Okay, don't be blinded by the light here, people. Is that all of them? That's 3 of them. Okay. These are very nice looking. You can feel they're nice and soft, beautifully uniform, you know, same height and everything like that. I can go ahead and pop this last one out in my hand here if I can. Come on, little one. Come on, little one. There we go. Okay, very little resistance here as these things come out of their layers. These are such a nice size too. Make these things, give them away. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Oh yeah, the 4 loaf thing. They're so cute, and I got them from a friend, from a couple of pals, and they dropped them off the other day. I really love it because you don't always want to give somebody this huge thing of pumpkin bread, but a little loaf like that is like, you know, sometimes hard to make it through for some people, not myself. Sometimes hard to make it through a loaf of bread, but a little mini loaf is a nice thing to do. All right. Let's see now. Can we get this? I'm going to try and do the same thing just on the towel here for these remaining loaves. Try to get them flipped out. So you got your nice clean towel here. I'm going to flip these over and see what happens. Alright, all 4 of them pop right out. That's great. Bottom are golden brown. I have to work on lighting for the next one, but these streusel ones. Delicious. Oh yeah, those look great. I'm not going to go flattering myself too much because pan loaves or quick bread loaves are not meant to be some hugely challenging thing. They really are just a nice thing that you can kind of get together and, you know, mix all your ingredients up, pour it in a pan, bake it, and it's something that's easy to put together and share with friends, family, etc. want the corner, but I don't want to ruin the loaf. So, I'm going to place this over top of a cutting board. Let's see. And I'm going to try to find the best way to get these organized so that I can do a nice clean line back and forth for 2 of these with that cream cheese icing. Here we go. Okay. So. Alright. These middle 2 are going to be the ones that I do the cream cheese icing on. And we're just going to do some lines across. See if we can get this going here. I'm just going to go all the way across, loop around and come back, all the way across, loop around and come back. Oh, looks like we messed up a little bit there at the end. Oh. All right. So those are going to dry and have these nice little horizontal lines. Go ahead and take a knife, cut through the middle over here. Okie dokie. Well, here, that's covering up any mess. But here you've got streusel pumpkin bread, some cream cheese icing pumpkin bread, and some plain pumpkin bread that we're going to give out to some friends, family. We've got plenty of cream cheese icing left, so like I said, you can put this stuff in between some bread for some French toast. You got stuffed French toast. You can use it to top pancakes. Honestly, we could probably, I've got a little pumpkin puree left. You could mix that in with your pancakes and have pumpkin pancakes with some of this on top. Beautiful. But yeah, once again, just want to thank everybody for coming in. I really appreciate everybody stopping in this morning. Oh, look. Oakley dokley. Oh, I've heard of that. You know, I heard of the Flanders Metal Band when I first got Just the Mustache years ago. A coworker told me about them. But yeah, thanks again for coming by, everybody. I really appreciate it. Next week, I don't know what we're doing, but if you got any recommendations, you can send me some kind of communication. I'll add my contact stuff on Twitch. But until then, thank you very much. Have a great one, and keep on baking. We gonna raid somebody? Is anybody streaming this morning? I'm sure somebody's streaming this morning. They gotta be. Let's see. Who is streaming? Oh, wow. Oh, nice. Okay. Right on. Well, thank you. Well, shoot, I would be rating you, Sergeant Power Glove, but you're not starting yet, and that's no big deal. We'll see you in your stream in a little bit. Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.